Hello everybody, Philippa here, and welcome to my talk on Pericles, Prince of Tyre. In turning to the romance mode in this late play, Shakespeare was drawing on a public fascination with old tales and ballads, as well as with values that people feared were disappearing in the early 17th century mercantilism. Values of chivalry, heroism, and care for the community. You might think of Pericles, if you want, fishing a set of rusty armour, his father's, out of the sea, and resurrecting thereby the chivalric values of England's recent past. Key to the hero's identity is concern for community, and this very strongly marks Pericles. Shakespeare drew on an alliterative story called Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. It was a 14th century romance that told the story of Sir Gawain's adventures. Sir Gawain was one of King Arthur's Knights of the Round Table, and he accepts a challenge from a totally green-coloured knight who offers to let the challenger strike him a blow with an axe if he agrees to meet him for a return challenge in a year and a day. Sir Gawain picks up the axe, chops off the green warrior's head. That was easy. Well, not so fast, because the green man gets up, picks up his head, starts to walk away, and reminds Sir Gawain that they have a date for another challenge in a year and a day. And it's how Sir Gawain gets there that is his own hero's quest, in which he encounters repeated challenges that challenge him to demonstrate chivalry, loyalty, heroism, and strength in strange lands. The conventional questing hero begins by crossing a threshold from the known to the unknown before undergoing his actual journey. And during the journey, he goes through a physical and spiritual initiation and has to be prepared to go on, although losing loved ones and prized possessions. It's only after being repeatedly tested in strange lands that he can return to the safety of his homeland. Pericles' stature as questing hero is established in this play's first scene, where he is faced by the ignoble king Antiochus with a riddle. The riddle is easy to solve. Antiochus has been incestuously abusing his own daughter. But here is the problem. If Pericles exposes the riddle, then he also exposes his community, his people, to the wrath of Antiochus. But if he doesn't expose the riddle, he's complicit with Antiochus's sin. So his only path, he feels, is to flee, thus saving the people from the king's wrath and also saving himself from being complicit with this terrible situation. So he will have to bear multiple strokes of ill fortune before he gets to return after enduring a great deal. Pericles' daughter Marina also enacts her own hero's quest. Pericles' wife Thaisa is, it is thought, lost at sea. And so when he goes on his own quest, he has to leave his baby Marina with Cleon and Dionysa. It quickly emerges that as Marina grows, beautiful and accomplished, she shows up. The two parents feel the shortcomings of their own daughter, who doesn't look as good in comparison with this wonderful young woman. So Dionysa arranges to have pirates come in and they are going to take Marina away to her death. However, she manages to buy some time and they drop her off at a brothel. But in the brothel, even there, she cannot be corrupted. Nobody wants to abuse her. Everybody meeting her finds in themselves their best selves, including Governor Lysimachus, who comes in and expects to have his way with her, is turned inward by her goodness, and ends up giving her a chance by paying for her to live with a respectable family. She, remember, is on her own hero's quest. And she can't stay in that situation. She has to confront all of life's stinking bouquets. Eventually she's sent on a pilgrimage to help an aged, helpless man. And she realizes that that man is her own father, Pericles. This play's energy comes not as, say, with Lear or the Tempest, with any fault on the part of father or daughter. The principal protagonists of this play are simply the victims of circumstance and other people's ill nature, and their strength is one of the most important words in the Renaissance period: patience, the capacity to endure, the capacity to survive without having the goodness wrung out of them. It's so moving at the end when Marina comes across the old raddled hermit and discovers in this man her own father, into whom she can breathe new life. This is the miracle. You can be almost dead 1 minute, and the next minute, as director Joel Sass, who directed this for our very first time in 2008, pointed out, the next minute you can have a chance at new life and at love. It's a miracle, that simple possibility. Not to mention the miracle of discovering in this play that Miranda's mother, Thaisa, long thought dead, is reunited with her blighted family, who are in the end happy simply to taste the joy of life together, of sunlight in the morning, of being able to be together, of being able to look at a father's face like an old satchel in the dead winter of life, and to say, this is love. At being able to look at your lover, as Marina gets to do in the spring of life, and to say, this too is love. There is room in life for miracles, but what Pericles shows us is that miracles don't just come all on their own. They're all about the capacity to survive, the capacity to survive not just through living, but through understanding and calling on the goodness within yourself. Thank you, everybody, and see you next week.